ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्य विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। आप सभी का स्वागत है।
We welcome all of you to today's Bhagavad Gita class. We are studying third chapter, verse number 42. In the previous class, we studied verse 41, in which Bhagavan said that in order to control your karma, you should first of all regulate your senses. Once the senses are regulated, then you will be able to give up karma, because this karma covers your viveka and it is highly sinful.
श्लोक में भगवान कहते हैं इंद्रियाणि पराण्याहु इंद्रियेभ्यः परम मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिर यो बुद्धे परतस्तु स। इंद्रियों को स्थूल शरीर आदि प्रत्यक्ष
Translation: the senses are said to be superior to the objects of perception, such as the gross body. Superior to the senses is the mind. Superior even to the mind is the intellect. But that which is superior to the intellect is he, the self. So this is a very important verse because here Bhagavan is explaining a gradation between senses, mind, intelligence, and Atma. If we have to control or regulate something, then that which has to be controlled and that by which we will control, there should be difference between both. And the controller should be more powerful. Only then he will be able to control or regulate. That is why here Bhagavan is telling that the senses, they are more powerful than the sense objects. Because in the previous verse he had explained that you should start by regulating the senses. Earlier also in the second chapter Bhagavan had explained there also he had explained that beginning from the senses, one who regulates the senses by his mind, such a karma yogi is superior. So without the senses, we cannot even recognize the existence of the sense objects. If we do not have eyes, how do we know what is there in front of us? If our ears are not functioning properly, then how shall we understand or how shall we recognize the sound around us? So all the sense objects which are there, the experience of their existence is done through the senses only. The existence or non-existence of the sense objects is understood through the senses only. This is what Nyaya teaches. The sense by which we understand the existence of something, that with that same sense we also recognize the non-existence of that same object. And because through the senses only we understand the sense objects or recognize them, so that means through the senses we can control or regulate them. Which means that if we want we can engage with those sense objects, or if we do not want we may not. Although when senses are there and when it contacts the sense objects, you will definitely get knowledge of that object. You cannot stop that. If your eyes are open and there is something in front of you, you will definitely see that. You cannot say that I open my eyes but I should not see what is in front of me. If your ears are open, you will definitely hear the sound. If you if you touch some food item with your tongue, you will definitely feel the taste. So that knowledge will happen definitely because indriyas are designed to experience the sense objects only. This is the job of senses, to relay the knowledge, to pass on the knowledge of the sense object to the mind. So if we want to achieve victory over karma, then first of all, we have to regulate the contact of senses with the sense objects. That's why here it is said that the senses are superior to the sense objects. The senses cannot know themselves. Eyes cannot see the eyes. Tongue cannot taste the tongue. That is why also senses are superior to the sense objects, because senses themselves cannot be the sense objects.
लेकिन इंद्रियभ्यः परम मनः, इंद्रिय से परे मन है.
Beyond the senses is the mind. Why? Because your senses can function without the mind and with the mind. Both are possible. But Wherever there is mind, definitely there will be senses.
अगर आप किसी चीज को सोचते हैं, देख रहे हैं,
If you are thinking about something,
हमारे यहाँ
watching,
पर हमको विषय जो उपलब्ध हैं, देखने का भी, सुनने का भी,
whatever sense
सुनने का
objects
भी,
we have around us, whether
तो
it is of
उसी
sight,
विषय का
touch,
ज्ञान
or
होगा जहाँ
smell,
पर आपका मन है।
but we will gain
मन
knowledge
आपका
only
जाता
of
जाता
that object where our mind is also connected.
कान में जाते हुए भी आपको
If your mind is
सुनाई
somewhere
नहीं
else,
देगा।
even if you are hearing my words, you will not recognize because your mind
मन
is
और
not
इंद्रिय
connected.
दोनों साथ में होंगे तो विषय का ज्ञान
So
होता है।
the knowledge
अगर
happens only when both mind and senses are
उसमें
connected to the
ध्यान नहीं
object.
होगा, इंद्रिय
If
नहीं होगा,
mind is somewhere else, the
क्या
senses may
मनते
still function. Like
आपके पैर चलते
if
हैं,
you are walking,
लेकिन आप
your
चलते
legs are
चलते
walking, but you
सोच
are
रहे हैं, आप
thinking about something
फोन
else.
पर बात करते हुए चले जा रहे हैं,
Maybe you are talking on your phone
आप चलते
and
जा रहे हैं,
walking, so your mind is focused on
और उस
the
समय आपकी इंद्रिय के साथ में
conversation,
इंद्रिय अपना कार्य कर रही है और आपको
but the
चलते हुए
legs
देखने
are
का भी ज्ञान
walking
है, क्योंकि
and you
आपका
are
मन
not
उस समय
aware consciously about
कार्य
that.
करने में है।
Your consciousness is fixed up on
तो
the conversation.
मन से इंद्रिय को नियंत्रण करने का मतलब है कि मन को इंद्रिय पर ही लगाना,
So,
नहीं तो इंद्रिय
regulating the senses by the mind
काम करती हैं।
means focusing the mind on the senses.
जैसी जैसी आप उसमें
Otherwise,
आदत
the
डालते जाते हैं
senses
वैसे वो
work
काम करते हैं।
according to the habit,
अनेक
according to
क्रियाएं
how they are
अपनी आदत के
habituated.
अनुसार करते हैं।
We do so
जैसे
many
कि आप
things
करते
out
आते हैं,
of habit
आप ब्रश करते हैं,
because we have been doing
आप
that
ब्रश कर रहे
daily.
हैं, ब्रश भी कर रहे हैं, लेकिन
So you
सोच
wake
रहे हैं
up
कुछ और,
daily and brush your teeth, but you are
उसके बाद
thinking
धो रहे
something
हैं, कपड़े
else.
पहन
Or
रहे हैं।
let's say you
तो
are
ये
taking
जितनी है
bath
जो हम रोज
or
करते आ रहे
wearing
हैं,
clothes. So these are our daily
नहा रही
routine
हैं,
activities.
भोजन बना रही हैं,
Ladies are
कुछ और कर
cooking
रहा है।
daily, but they
ये
may
सब
be
क्यों
thinking
होता
of
है?
something else.
हमने अपने
So why
मन
does
को
this
इस प्रकार
happen?
से
Because
प्रशिक्षित
this
किया
is
है
because we
कि मन
have
को हम
trained
नियंत्रण में
our
रख सकें।
senses to work like
तो एक
this.
संस्कार हमारे अंदर पड़ गया
So
है
we have imbibed that samskara
और उस संस्कार से वो
within,
चलती रहती है।
and the senses then
जैसे
start
कई लोग
functioning
होते हैं
according to their
जिनको
samskara.
पीने की आदत है,
Like many people who are
वो
habituated
जब
to
स्मोक
smoking
करते हैं तो
cigarette,
उनको ध्यान ही नहीं
when
रहता
they
है,
are
वो
smoking, they are
नशे
not even
का
aware
नशा
of
होता
that.
है या कुछ उनके जो आदत रहती है, तो हाथ अपने आप
Let's say they have some habit,
जेब में जाएगा,
so
सिगरेट
their
उठाने
hand
लगेगा,
goes automatically
पीने
inside the
लगेगा।
pocket, takes out the
लेकिन उस
cigarette, and starts
उस समय वो
smoking.
अपने जागरूकता से नहीं करता है,
He is not
वो एक
smoking
आदत से
with
काम
awareness,
करता
but
रहता है।
out of habit.
ऐसे जो लोग ऑफिस रोज जाते हैं, रोज
Similarly,
चलते हैं,
those who go to office
वो
daily
रोज आदत से
driving their
गाड़ी
car,
चलाए,
so they are habituated. They wake up, they drive their car.
तो ये इंद्रियों की अपनी एक आदत है।
So these
मतलब एक आदत
senses,
से
they have
संस्कार
this
होता है।
habit, meaning that
इसलिए
they have their own samskaras,
जो लोग
which is
संगीत
formed
के
by doing the activities repeatedly.
खिलाड़ी
Those who
हैं,
are musicians or
क्रिकेट है,
sportsmen,
टेनिस खेलते
somebody
हैं,
is
जो
playing
शॉट
cricket
लेते
or
हैं,
tennis,
तो
when
वो
they
उसको उसी
play the
हिसाब से
shot,
प्लान
it
करते
is
हैं।
not that
स्ट्राइक्स
they
स्ट्राइक्स
play,
कहते हैं ना
they
उसको,
do not plan
कि
every
ऐसे आएगा
shot,
तो ऐसे
but it
मारेगा,
happens
तो
by
बार
reflex
उसको हजार
because they
बार
are
करना पड़ता है।
habituated, because they have done that same
अगर
activity
बॉल ऐसे
thousands
आएगी
of
तो ऐसे
times.
स्ट्रोक मार देगा,
So according to the
तो
ball
उसको
they
देखना होगा, उसको
face,
सोच के उसको
they
प्लान
hit the
करके
shot,
कि मैं
they play
मारूंगा
the
तो
shot.
मारूंगा नहीं, कभी वो
They do
प्लान
not
नहीं
have the
करते।
time to plan, although sometimes they
स्ट्राइक
may
कैसे
plan, like they can have a guess internally, but
रिफ्लेक्स से नहीं
generally
होता।
the quality
रिफ्लेक्स का
players,
मतलब
they have very
संस्कार,
powerful reflex. Reflex means that they have a strong
यहाँ
samskara
पे जो
inside,
बात है वो है कि
and that drives
इंद्रियों
them.
को मन से नियंत्रण में करना,
So here the point
और
is
मन
to
का
regulate the senses by the
नियंत्रण
mind, and
कौन
mind is
कौन सा होता है।
superior to the senses. Like when we dream at
शरीर सोया
night,
हुआ लेकिन स्वप्न चल
our
रहा है,
body is lying down, but the
मन इसका मतलब स्वतंत्र रूप
dream
से
is
कार्य
going
कर
on,
सकता है बिना
which
रुके,
means that
और इंद्रियां
mind can function independent of
उसको कंट्रोल
senses,
करती हैं।
and the
इसलिए
senses there cannot
इंद्रियों के
reflect
पास में कोई
what is in
ऐसी
the
शक्ति
mind,
नहीं है,
because
हमारे
the
हाथ
senses
पैर
do
हैं
not have any such
या
power.
इंद्रियां हैं या हाथ पैर
Our
हैं
eyes,
जो मन को
ears,
जान सके।
legs,
मन
etc.,
उनको जान
they
सकता
do
है,
not have the power to know the
इंद्रिय
mind,
को,
but mind can know the
लेकिन
senses.
इंद्रिय मन को नहीं जान सकती।
Mind can know the
इसलिए
senses,
इसलिए
but
कहते हैं कि
senses cannot know the mind.
इंद्रियभ्यः परम
That's
मनः,
why it
इंद्रिय
says
से परे मन
that
है,
superior to the senses is
और
the
मन के
mind,
परे
and
बुद्धि है।
superior to the mind
इसी
is
को
the intellect, which is
गीता
most
में,
important,
गीता में बार बार
regarding
कहा
which
गया है, आरंभ से ही
Gita is teaching
बार बार
repeatedly.
समझाया है
I have
कि
also explained
गीता
this
कैसे
point repeatedly, that how, what is the importance of
ऊर्जा
buddhi,
बुद्धि को नहीं जान सकता है,
because mind cannot know the buddhi,
बुद्धि मन को जान
but
सकता है।
buddhi can know the mind.
आपका मन शांत है
Your mind is
या
peaceful
अशांत है,
or
इससे
disturbed.
पता चलता है,
How do you
मन
know?
से थोड़ी पता चलता है।
You do not know it by
मन
the
डिस्टर्ब
mind.
है तो अशांत है,
Mind is disturbed, so it is disturbed only.
वो उसकी अशांति से उससे निकल नहीं सकता, उससे अगर
It cannot
निकलना
get
है
out of the
तो
disturbance.
उपयोग करना
If
पड़ेगा।
you want to
जैसे विवेक का
get rid
प्रयोग
of that
करते हैं ऐसे
disturbance, you
करना
have to
पड़ेगा।
use the vivek,
किस लिए
the power of
शांत है,
discrimination with your intellect.
मन क्यों विचलित है,
You have to reflect, why am I
विवेक से
disturbed?
आप उसको शांत कर सकते हैं।
Then using your discrimination, you can make
मन
it
के कारण
peaceful,
होते हैं तो कोई
because
प्रयोजन नहीं
most
है।
of the time our disturbance is
मन की
useless
वो एक आदत पड़ गई
without
है
any
शांत
genuine
रहने की।
reason. But mind also has become habituated
मन कहीं
to
भी हो,
remaining
मन
disturbed.
शांत हो तो
It
इसको
is the
लगता है
quality
कि
of mind that if mind is
कुछ ना
peaceful,
कुछ
it
होना
does
चाहिए।
not feel happy.
आपके
It
आपकी
will
अगर जो
raise
इच्छाएं हैं वो अभी पूरी हो रही
find
हैं
something or the other to become disturbed.
तो आप
If all
सोचते
your
हैं कि अब मैं क्या
desires
करूं,
become fulfilled right now,
क्योंकि हमने
then
एक
you will
ऐसी आदत
become
डाली हुई है
highly
कि
disturbed
हम
that now what should I do? Because we have
अपने को खुश
imbibed this
रखते हैं,
habit to always remain
क्योंकि
busy.
हमको अपने आप से बहुत डर लगता है।
Why? Because we are very much afraid
और आदमी
of
अकेले नहीं
ourselves.
रहना चाह सकता,
That's why it is said that human being does not
वो
want to live
सोचता है कि मेरे
alone.
साथ
He wants to
मेरे
always
इंद्रियां
be with
किसी काम में
somebody
लगी रहें।
so that his
वो
senses
किसी भी
always
काम
remain
में
engaged in their
किसी चीज में
objects.
उलझा रहता है तो अपने आप को भूला रहता है ना,
So when
अपना
the
काम
human
में
being
लगा
is
रहता है।
busy, he is not aware of
लेकिन भौतिक
himself.
समाज में हमारी
So
ऐसी
today's
आदत नहीं है,
materialistic
कि
society,
अपने
in
आप को व्यस्त
materialistic
करें,
society, we have
टाइम
become
निकालें
habituated to always remain entangled
और दूसरी
in
तरफ
something or the other. So if one desire is satisfied,
वो कैसा
we
है,
become busy
वो
for
क्या करते हैं, वो शांति
satisfying
से
some other
बैठना
desire.
चाहिए था, क्योंकि
Those who
उनके
have lot of
दिमाग
money,
में इतना
they
पैसा
should
है
be
कि वो
sitting
कुछ नहीं कर
peacefully,
सकते,
because people
तो
think
वो
like
हर
this, that
वक्त
if I
लगे
get lot
रहेंगे
of money, I will not have to do
कि
anything
इसकी
else.
मत हो जाओ, इसकी
No,
मत हो
but then
जाओ,
also they become busy going around different
नहीं कर
picnic
सकते,
spots,
इसलिए वो ऐसा भजन
vacations.
करेंगे।
They do not sit quietly and do their
इसलिए वो
bhajan.
बैठ के भगवान का
Actually,
नाम
they
जप
should be
करते हैं,
sitting quietly and do
वहाँ
japa,
उनको कोई
because
आवश्यकता
they
नहीं
have
है।
everything.
लेकिन ऐसा करना उनके लिए संभव नहीं है, क्योंकि उनको
But this is not
अपने
possible for
स्वयं के
them,
साथ में बैठने का कभी
because
अभ्यास ही नहीं किया
they
है,
have never practiced sitting with
और इसलिए
themselves.
वो अशांत रहते हैं, और
That is
अशांत
why
रहने
they
का
are
उनके
always
लिए
disturbed,
सबसे आनंद है।
and they derive lot of pleasure
जैसे
in
घर में
remaining
किसी से
disturbed.
कुछ कभी कोई लड़ाई झगड़ा ना हो
Like if in a
तो तारक
home
मेहता कहता है कि तो
there is no
लड़ाई
fighting, no
झगड़ा नहीं है,
chaos, then you start thinking,
उसको
is
किसी
there
से कोई
somebody
मतलब
here or
नहीं है।
no? So some
एक तरफ वो
agitation should
चाहते हैं कि
always
वो
be there.
शांति
This is
रहे,
how people think.
और दूसरी तरफ जब
On one
शांति मिल
side,
जाती है
people
तो वो
want peace, but on the other hand,
ये
when they get peace or when they become
आदत नहीं
peaceful,
है, अनुभव नहीं है कि
they
हम
do
शांति
they
में
are not
कैसे बैठे रहें।
habituated how to
जब
deal with that peace.
शांति का माहौल मिल
They
जाता है
are not
तो
trained
हम उसमें
how
कैसे
to deal
रहें,
with the peace. Meaning, once they achieve a
ये
peaceful situation, how should they live? They do not
इसलिए
know that.
वो
So Gita is teaching
मन जो
us
है उसको
how
भगवान में
to
लगाना
remain
चाहिए,
peaceful
बुद्धे
and
परमन्नः,
engage the mind in Bhagavan's
उसका
seva,
तो उसमें उसको
how to
कहा गया
meditate
है
on Bhagavan.
मयि बुद्धिम निवेशय निवेशस्यासि मयि एव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। भगवान ये कहते हैं ना कि अपना मन मेरे में लगाओ,
Bhagavan is telling this only,
मन में
that
रखो,
meditate on me, engage your mind in me.
तो और वो उसका हमने अभ्यास कभी किया नहीं है,
But we have
हम
never
अपने मन को
practiced
किसी
that.
वस्तु में लगाना चाहते हैं,
We always want to meditate
भौतिक
on
वस्तु में मन
inert
लगाने की कोई
objects.
आदत हमने डाली नहीं है।
We have never
इसलिए अगर हम
imbibed the
मन
habit
को जड़
of
वस्तुओं में लगाएंगे,
meditating
किसी विषय में नहीं
on
लगाएंगे, तो
conscious
हमको एक बड़ी अशांति
being.
होती है।
We are always meditating on inert sense
हाँ,
objects. Then
तो
mind
माया
always
क्या
remains
करती है
disturbed. So
कि
this is the
हमको
maya of
किसी न
mind,
किसी चीज में फंसा कर रखेगा,
that it will always keep us
शांति का
entangled in
माहौल
something or the
खराब
other.
कर देगा, तो हम नए
If one
विचारों
desire
की
is
ओर जाएंगे,
satisfied, it will generate a new desire. Go here, go there, meet this person, that
ये
person,
आपको ये
get
समय नहीं
this.
देगा कि
It
बैठकर
will never give you the time to
भगवान की
sit
भक्ति करें, भगवान का
peacefully
नाम जप
and
करें,
do bhajan or nam jap,
ध्यान
dhyan
भजन, उसके
or
लिए
do
ये समय आपको
puja.
देगा नहीं।
For that,
ये
mind will
समय
not give you time.
देखने में आता है कि जिनके पास में कोई
So
उत्तरदायित्व नहीं
we
है,
have seen many times that those who do not have
जिनके
any
बच्चे बड़े हो गए,
responsibility, their children
बच्चे
have
रिटायर
grown
हो
up,
गए,
they have retired from their job, they are getting pension also, they have lot of bank balance, they have everything, but they cannot do bhajan. With all this, they still keep running here and there, and then they give excuses. What shall we do here in the dham? We will become bored. If we come to Vrindavan, we will become bored. So stay wherever you are. So they be feel lot of boredom in bhakti. So the reason is our mind, senses. So here Bhagavan is giving the formula how to be peaceful.
और भगवान का जो उत्तर है 37वें श्लोक से 43 श्लोक तक.
So Bhagavan has answered Arjuna's question from verse 37 onwards. So this is very important verse for the sadhak. According to my opinion, this verse is the most important one for a sadhak, because here Bhagavan is teaching how the sadhak should regulate his senses, mind, intellect, and remain engaged in the seva of Bhagavan. Before this, Bhagavan explained the problem, but although from second chapter itself, Bhagavan had started explaining.
उनकी आत्मा काम में ही आविष्ट रहती है. वेदवाद रहता पार्थ नान्यत अस्तिति वादिन. तो ये आरंभ से ही जब स्थित
So from the beginning, when Bhagavan was asked the definition of sthita pragya, there also Bhagavan had explained.
मन में जो घुसे हुए हैं ये काम इनको सब बिल्कुल छोड़ दे जब प्रजाहाति. तो उसी
Bhagavan had told the karma that has entered your mind, get rid of it, give it up. So here Bhagavan is explaining in a very logical way how you can get rid of the karma. That's why this is a very important instruction.
और बुद्धि जो है वो मन से परे इसलिए भी है.
Now, why is buddhi superior to the mind? That is because when we get into deep sleep, the state of sushupti, where we do not even dream. One is the state of dream and the other is dreamless deep sleep. So in the state of sushupti, the deep sleep, there even mind does not function, because dream happens through the mind only. But buddhi is still awake even in the state of deep sleep. That is why when you wake up, you say that I slept very nicely and I did not know anything. I was just lying down like a stone. So you are getting that remembrance because of your buddhi, because one of the qualities of buddhi is smriti, memory.
बुद्धि अगर कामात् संजायते क्रोध क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोह सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रम और स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धि नाश. तो स्मृति और बुद्धि का आपस में संबंध.
So smriti or memory and buddhi, they are interconnected. Memory happens through buddhi. If one does not have buddhi, what will he remember? And if one has lost his memory, then his buddhi is destroyed. That's why intelligent people have very strong memory. That is why, because we have the remembrance of our deep sleep or sushupti, it proves that the buddhi was functioning in that state also. But it is the remembrance of what? It is the remembrance of, the remembrance is that nothing happened that time. Because when we are not doing, at least we know that we are existing. So it proves that intellect is superior to the mind, and we have to regulate the mind through our buddhi only. So mostly what happens is the mind starts ruling over buddhi. Actually buddhi is superior to mind, and ideally buddhi should be controlling the mind. But then when we are engaged too much in sense objects, then the mind starts controlling the buddhi for sense enjoyment. So the master becomes subservient to the servant.
लोग नौकर हैं इसको बंद
If there is a master and there are some
तो उसको आप
servants under the master,
स्वतंत्रता दे दो
so if you give freedom to the
फिर एक ऐसा समय आएगा
independence
कि
to the
नौकर जो है वो
servants,
फिर सुनेगा
then there will be a stage when the servants they will not
ऐसी
listen
स्थिति
to
जो
the
है वो
master.
हमारे साथ इस
So
समय है
this
कि
is
हमारी
our
बुद्धि
present situation
मन के ऊपर है
in which,
वो इस समय
although
उसको
our
सुनने नहीं
intellect is
देगा
superior to the mind, but
और
still
अपनी ओर
mind is not obeying the buddhi and
धीरे
mind
धीरे
is
करके
functioning
समस्या
independently, whimsically.
आरंभ होता है उससे।
So here
और बुद्धि
from
से
this
परे जो
point,
है बुद्धे
major trouble
जिसको
starts in
बुद्धि
our
से परे
life.
वह है
And
यहाँ सह
beyond
शब्द का प्रयोग सर्वनाम
the
पद से
intellect
भगवान ने किया है
is Saha,
सर्वनाम से
he.
तो यही अर्थ आता है कि
Bhagavan has used
सह
his pronoun
बुद्धि
Saha. So from the
जैसे
context,
कुछ लोग
here
कहते हैं कि बुद्धि
Saha
की बात चल रही है
means the
उसी
Atma,
का अर्थ
but
काम
some
भी हो
people
सकता है
say
कि बुद्धि से
that
परे काम
Saha
है
means Kama also, and they
रामानुजाचार्य
interpret
जैसे श्री
in a way
रामानुजाचार्य
that
उन्होंने सा का
Kama
प्रयोग
is
करके
superior
अनुवाद किया
to
है
Buddhi.
बुद्धि से
Like
परे
some acharyas like Sri Ramanujacharya has
कहा जाता है
interpreted Saha as Kama.
सा का मतलब आत्मा है कि बुद्धि से
Although,
परे
but
आत्मा है
generally
यानी
the
मेरी
here
बुद्धि
the word Saha refers to the
मेरी
Atma.
बुद्धि मतलब
Like we
मेरी
say
बुद्धि
my Buddhi, that means
मैं मालिक
I
हूँ
am superior to the Buddhi.
स्वयं
Buddhi belongs to me, so I am
श्री
superior to the
मध्वाचार्य जी सा
Buddhi.
का अर्थ
And Shri Madhvacharya
आत्मा को
ji,
परमात्मा करते हैं तो सा का अर्थ श्री
he
परमात्मा
interprets Saha as
दोनों
Paramatma.
लिए
So
जा सकते
Saha
हैं
can
दोनों
be
बुद्धि में रहते हैं
can refer to Atma as well as Paramatma, because Buddhi is also under the
तो आत्मा
it's
शब्द
subservient to
का कोई
Paramatma
भी अगर
only.
अर्थ किया जाए
Even if you take the meaning as
कोई बात
Atma,
नहीं है लेकिन उस आत्मा
there
से
is
जो
no
है वो
problem.
एक थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रापोलेट करना पड़ेगा कि आत्मा
But
से
then you
परे
have to
परमात्मा है
extrapolate that beyond Atma is
ऐसा नहीं कि
Paramatma,
ऐसा
although
नहीं
it is
निकाल
not
सकते
there in the verse, but that
तो
meaning can be
क्योंकि ये जो
derived.
काम है
Why?
इसको नाश
Because
करना
this karma,
जीव के अपने सामर्थ्य में नहीं है
it is not in the power of the jiva
इसलिए
to
भगवान ने
destroy the
पहले ही
karma.
कहा
That's why
कि
Bhagavan had told earlier,
रसवर्जम रसोप्यस्य परम दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिन रसवर्जम रसोप्यस्य परम दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते के परम को देखकर परमात्मा को देखकर यानी कि परमात्मा का अनुभव देखकर तभी हमारी रस यानी कि जो विषय में जो
by
आसक्ति है
experiencing Paramatma only,
कामना है वो समाप्त
our
होती
kamana, our
है इसलिए
attachment to the sense objects
कामदेव
goes away. That's why one of the names of Bhagavan is Kamadev,
काम के जो असली स्रोत हैं वो शिव जी
because
हैं
the he is the
इसलिए
actual
गीता में भी
source
उसी से
of
प्रारंभ
Kama.
किया ना सा
By
कामयते
his desire,
पुरुषार्थाम
he has made this world
तो
manifest.
कामना तो उन्हीं की अपनी है
So the first desire is of him only. He's the
असली
first
चालक
person to
एक ही है
desire,
वो है
and from him
और
only all
उनके
this is
मिलने से
manifest.
उनकी भक्ति
So
से
by experiencing him, by realizing him, by doing becoming his
ये
bhakta,
उनसे मिल सकती है
we can get
इसलिए भगवान कहते
liberation
हैं
from
कि
this
मैं उनका
karma.
उद्धार करता हूँ
That's why Bhagavan says that I liberate them,
जो मेरी शरण ग्रहण करते हैं
those who
बार
take
बार
my
कृष्ण
shelter.
कहते हैं मैं उनकी
He tells this in 12th chapter.
मैं उनका समुद्धरता मैं उनका उद्धार करने
I
वाला
am their deliverer,
क्योंकि जीव में इतनी शक्ति नहीं है कि
because
उससे
Jiva on
वो
his own does not have that power
मुक्त हो सके अपने आप
to liberate himself.
इसलिए रसम ही लब्ध्वा आनंदी भवति भगवान को ही रस स्वरूप कहा है और आनंदी
Bhagavan is referred to as Rasa Swarupa.
लेकिन वो रस
Every
किसको कहते हैं
person
वो
is
भगवान है विषय
searching for rasa,
कोई विषय संग
but the
रस नहीं
sense objects do not have any rasa. Bhagavan is
वो
the rasa
प्राप्त
Swarupa.
व्यक्ति
So by
उसको
attaining Bhagavan only, a person can
और
become
भगवान यही
free
कहते
from
हैं
this
कि
karma.
इंद्रियाणाम
And then
मनश्चास्मि
Bhagavan also says that among the senses,
विषयेषु
I am the
विषयाणाम
mind.
तो
So
उनकी कृपा
mind
से
is
हो
his
सकता है
vibhuti.
उनकी कृपा से ही संभव है
So it is only possible by his
तो इस
mercy.
श्लोक में
So in this
इसलिए
verse,
बताया है ये एक
therefore it is
क्रम
said,
कि किस प्रकार
a
से
particular order is
उनके
explained, that
उद्धार से
how
इस पर हम
in this sequence,
नियंत्रण
if we
कर
follow
सकते
this
हैं
sequence, we can achieve self control.
और दूसरी बात समझने की ये है
The other point to be understood is
हमारी जो इच्छाएं होती हैं
that our
कोई कह सकता है कि काम
desires, because somebody may
उसको
say
पूरा नहीं कर सकते,
that
एक
karma cannot be given up completely because
कामना दो प्रकार की है, एक
some desire is always there.
भौतिक विषयों की कामना है,
So one is the desire of
भगवान से
inert material objects and other is desire related to Bhagavan.
यहाँ भौतिक विषयों की
So
कामना को
this
दूर छोड़ने के
verse
लिए कहा गया है।
is teaching us to give up the desires
ये जो
for
कामनाएं हैं
sense
ये
objects
संस्कारवश होती हैं,
because these desires
भगवान
are
के
due to our
संस्कारवश
samskaras,
नहीं होते हैं।
and desires related to Bhagavan are not due to samskaras.
पहले इनको
They
आध्यात्मिक
those desires come by spiritual knowledge.
क्योंकि उसमें
First we have to get
संस्कार
spiritual
होते हैं,
knowledge, then only we will get desires accordingly.
संस्कार हैं,
Because as of now we do not have those samskaras. Whatever samskaras we have, they are all related to material
फिर
topics,
हम
and they give rise to material desires, and then we start
इसलिए
engaging
इसको श्रवण
to
करना
fulfill those desires. So,
ये अति आवश्यक है।
hearing this Gita properly, understanding it
दूसरा ये
properly
है
is
कि
very important.
क्योंकि
The other
हमारी
point is that
हमारी बुद्धि
because our senses are material
भौतिक है,
and our mind is also
बुद्धि
material,
भौतिक है,
our buddhi is also
इनका
material,
स्वभाव ही है भौतिक विषय
so
की तरफ
they are
झुकना।
habituated, used
ये प्रश्न
to
आ सकता
going
है कि
after
ऐसा
sense
क्यों होता है
objects. Because this
कि
question may be raised
कि
that
हम जानते
why
भी हैं
does
कि
it
हमारा
happen,
काम है
as
करना,
Arjun had asked, that we
हमारा मन
know
तो
that
है
what we
कि
are
इसको
doing is
करना,
wrong, but still we do it? Why is our mind
लेकिन ये हमारे
naturally,
बस नहीं है
why
वास्तव
does
में।
it naturally gravitate towards sense
वही
objects?
भगवान है और वही वास्तव में रस स्वरूप है, वही
When we know that Bhagavan is the Rasa Swarup, he is the Rasa Raj, Rasika
हमारा मन
Shekhar,
उनकी तरफ क्यों नहीं लगता है?
then why does our
इसका
mind
कारण ये है कि
not go
हमारे
towards
जो है वो
Bhagavan?
सजातीय में होता है।
That is because attraction
हमारा
happens
मन,
in
बुद्धि,
object
इंद्रियां
of
सब
same
भौतिक है और
jati.
भगवान जो
So
है
our mind and senses are material
आध्यात्मिक है,
and Bhagavan is spiritual.
वो सच्चिदानंद है,
He is
वो
Satchidanand.
विजातीय है,
So he is Vijatiya, different jati.
पंचभूतों से बनी हुई है इंद्रियां,
These in the senses are made of
प्रकृति से बनी
the
हुई है और
five
भगवान जो
material
है
elements. They are made of Prakriti,
प्रकृति से
but
परे है।
Bhagavan is beyond the
इस
Prakriti.
संसार में भी हम देखते हैं
So
कि
we see in this
भौतिक
world
जगत में भी
also
देखें
that if even if
तो
we
आकर्षण किसमें होता है?
analyze our senses, what is the
सबसे पहले
Jiva
जीव उसका
attracted to?
स्वाद है, जीव
He
का
is
आकर्षण
attracted to that object which has taste. Jiva's attraction is not
मुंह में
towards
पानी आता है नहीं?
the not Jiva, the Jeeb, that is tongue. So the tongue is attracted towards taste.
लालसा होती है कि इसको मैं प्राप्त करूं, तो आकर्षण जो है वो सजातीय में ही होता है।
So the attraction is in the same jati, like the
किसी
tongue
प्रदेश में
is
जाएं,
attracted to taste only.
आपके गांव का
If
आदमी
you go
आपसे
to some
मिलने
other
आए,
country
उससे बात
and you
करें,
meet somebody of your village,
अरे आप वहां से, मैं भी वहीं से हूँ,
then you become attracted to that person and you start feel like talking to him because you realize both of you belong to the same village.
तो इसलिए
So, because the
वास्तव में
senses are
हम क्या कर
material,
रहे हैं?
they are naturally attracted towards the
भगवान को
material objects. So that's why it needs lot of practice
योग्य
to take them away from the sense
नहीं है,
objects and engage in Bhagwan's
ये पूरी
seva.
सजातीय होती हैं। तो इसमें प्रश्न हो सकता है कि भोक्ता तो आत्मा है,
So now the question may be that the bhokta is the atma, which
वो
is
भौतिक नहीं है,
the purusha, that is not
वास्तव में वो
material.
स्वयं भोग नहीं करता है,
So actually the purusha is not doing bhoga, not doing the sense enjoyment.
हमारे जो
As I had
इंद्रिय
explained in the previous class also,
दो विभाग
that
हैं,
our aham or ahankar, it has two divisions, material and
जड़
spiritual.
अंश, चेतन अंश।
Uh,
तो ये
there is a
जड़ अंश का
material
जो है
part and
वो
the spiritual
सारा
part.
आध्यात्मिक
The
का
material
तादात्म्य होता
part
है,
has got tadatmya with the
उसके कारण जो है
atma,
उसको एनर्जी देता है, शक्ति देता है, और
and it
उसका
gives
आकर्षण फिर भौतिक चीजों में होता है क्योंकि वो तो
gets
भौतिक
the
है।
energy and then it is attracted towards the sense objects.
तो इस सब को समझकर
So
हमें
understanding
नियंत्रण
this
करना है।
properly, we have to achieve the self control.
तो फिर इसके बाद में भगवान
And then after
इस
this,
अध्याय का अंतिम श्लोक बोलते हैं,
Bhagavan speaks the last verse of
एवं
this
ततो
chapter.
बुद्ध्वा संस्थभ्यात्मानमात्मना जहि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम्। हे महाबाहु अर्जुन, जिस प्रकार
Translation:
आत्मा को
O mighty armed
बुद्धि से
Arjuna,
परे
knowing the self as thus
तथा
superior
निष्काम
to the
बुद्धि
intellect,
द्वारा
and stabilizing the mind or manas by resolute intelligence, Nishchayatmika Buddhi, destroy this formidable enemy in the form of desire. So, this is a very important verse explained by Bhagavan. And here again, Bhagavan is speaking about Buddhi. He is telling that Atma is superior to the intellect. This is what we have to understand. But at the practical level, what are we supposed to do? At practical level, we should work with buddhi,
बुद्धि के द्वारा आत्मा शब्द का दो
using the buddhi.
लेकिन एक बात
Atma
ध्यान
word
रखना
is to use twice.
बुद्धि
One
और
is
श्रीमद्
buddhi and second here is mind. So it happens often in Gita, one word has multiple meanings.
आत्मा इन आत्मा आत्मा न जीता तो आत्मा 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 लेकिन उनके अर्थ अलग अलग हैं
So Atma word is used so many times but has different meanings. So here he is explaining that this enemy in the form of karma, it is such a formidable enemy. First of all, you should stabilize the mind by intellect, by your buddhi. So you cannot give up the sense objects totally, because currently we are residing in this material body, and material body has its own needs and we have to satisfy those needs. So if we destroy our senses or pluck our eyes, that will not solve the problem, because the problem is the material samskaras residing within. So we have to regulate, we have to control the mind, and in order to control we have to make a strategy. This is the job of buddhi. We have to use the buddhi to make strategy, how to regulate, how to stabilize the mind, how to control the senses. So time, place, person and object, at these four levels we have to do control. So first of all we have to regulate by time. We should have a daily timetable, daily routine, that I will wake up at this particular time, from one time to other time I will do my sadhana. You should have a fixed time for sadhana, and we should daily do sadhana in that time, because one way to regulate the mind is by making rules. Why our shastras give so many rules? This is the one of the reasons, that do vrat on Ekadashi. So this is also a rule based on time, based on kala. Like there is Janmashtami, Ram Navami, or Shiv Chaturdashi. So on those days, we control ourselves, we regulate ourselves on those days. Those who are on the spiritual path, they do that. So on particular special days, we do special activities, or we take the vow that on this day I will do japa of this much nama, or I will not eat such and such food item. Similarly, we should have a daily routine also. So this making this daily timetable is very important in order to control the mind. And then with lot of strict, we should follow the timetable. Otherwise, our mind will always dominate us. So those who are good sadhakas, they follow their timetable very strictly. That's why you must have heard that some good saint, he says that unless I do so much of japa of nama, I don't even drink water or meet anybody or eat food. Like my Gurudev Maharaj ji, before 4 p.m. he never met anybody, did not eat anything. Till 4 p.m. he was totally busy following the rules of worship, sadhana, etc. And after that only he met somebody. Whole life he followed this routine. So like that, uh, you make your routine, and then people No, people, we all knew that before 4 p.m. he would not meet anybody, so nobody came only. And if nobody comes, then there is no obstacle, disturbance to the sadhana. So, according to your situation, your comfort, because grihasthas, they have to, they have their own obligations. So, according to your obligations and situation, you make your timetable of waking up, sleeping, doing other activities. Otherwise, nowadays, mostly we see that this is Saturday, tomorrow there is no office. So, till late night, watch television, sleep late, wake up late, and breakfast, they'll take breakfast at 11 a.m. So, you should not live like this. Whether it is Saturday or Sunday, whatever is your sadhana, your daily routine, you should follow that strictly every day. So this is the rule based on timing. Then second is regarding place, location. So let's say you have an altar. So near your altar, you should not do unnecessary discussion, gossiping. In that place, you should have only spiritual talk, nam jap, kirtan. That particular place should be meant for that only. So this is a rule related to place, where the place where you take prasad, you should take prasad there only. Similarly, the tirtha, the pilgrimages which are designated in our shastra. So it is not that you go to pilgrimage and there you enjoy rabdi. Like we see Vrindavan, people see Vrindavan less like a pilgrimage and more mostly it has become a picnic spot. So if they come here, they want everything, like all kinds of facilities like in other places. Then what is the point of calling it a pilgrimage? If you come here, you should do tapasya, you should practice tolerance, and you should properly use your time in taking darshan of Bhagavan, doing sadhu sangha, hearing katha. But if you come here and simply engage in gossiping, what is the use of coming here? So that's why, based on place, we should have rules that every month or every year I go to this place of pilgrimage and there I engage only in spiritual activity. I will not discuss or talk or do anything related to my business or anything else. Similarly, we should have rules related to people, those who are around us, we have our relations with them. There also, we should have rules related to how we deal with them. If somebody is related to me for business, I deal with him for that purpose only, because our time is very limited and most important. So we should not waste our time. Nowadays, lot of time is wasted in useless talks, gossip. Nowadays, people keep sending videos. So I see the people who are employed here, I see they are all the so many times they are just watching videos on mobile. So in this way, our time gets wasted. Yeah, if you are getting some spiritual benefit or you are getting some news or information which is useful for you, but lot of that is useless only. So many people are simply making videos, even villagers are making videos. He did this, he did that, he told this, he told that, made some comedy joke. So there is no limit to that, you can spend your whole day in that. So we have to control that also. And then rules related to objects, that there are some objects which we will not use, so we can make rules. Like in our Vaishnav dharma, we do not consume carrot, so there is no need to apply unnecessarily logic that why do you not eat carrot, it is very good for eyes. So there is no need to use your logic.
नियंत्रण करने
You
के
just
लिए
understand that
नियम है।
for controlling our senses, our mind,
ये
this
बताइए
is one rule.
कि जो चीज़
And if we follow this rule, our mind will be
नहीं करता
will become strong
तो तपस्या होता है।
internally.
तपस्या
So
का
this
मतलब
is
क्या है?
tapasya.
तपस्या का
We
मतलब
become
ये नहीं
mentally
है कि
strong
धूप में जाके
by
खड़े हो
following the
जाओ,
rule.
पैर पर खड़े हो जाओ।
Tapasya does not necessarily mean that you go out in the hot sun and
इसी
you stand on one leg.
का त्याग करना,
Tapasya means voluntarily you give up something that you like.
ब्रह्मचर्य को तप कहा जाता है, उपवास
That's why
कहा जाता
brahmacharya is called tap.
है। तो इस प्रकार से
So
हर
in
एक
this
व्यक्ति
way,
को
every
अपने
person should
जीवन की एक शैली निर्धारित करनी चाहिए
make
अपने
his own
उद्देश्य के अनुसार।
lifestyle according to the
ये
goal he
उद्देश्य
wants
तब
to
है
achieve.
जब हमको अपने
And this is only possible
उद्देश्य,
when
हमारे जीवन का क्या
we are clear about
ध्येय
the
है,
goal of
कहाँ
our
पर हम
life.
पहुंचना चाहते हैं, ये हमारे मन
We
में
are clear
स्पष्ट होना
about the
चाहिए।
destination
सबसे
we
पहले
want to attain.
उद्देश्य की स्पष्टता होनी
This should be
चाहिए।
clear. First of all, there should, most important is to have
फिर हमको
clarity
अपनी
of the goal.
दिनचर्या, अपनी कार्यशैली
And then we
ये
should
नियमित करनी चाहिए।
regulate our
शतपथ
lifestyle,
ब्राह्मण में
our routine. So in
पांच
the Shatapatha Brahman Shastra,
उपाय बताए हैं मन को नियंत्रित
five
करने के लिए।
methods are given
ये बहुत
to
पुराना
regulate the mind. It's a very
प्रयोजनीय
old
शास्त्र है, कहते हैं
Shastra, but
अरण्यय।
very useful. First of all, it
अरण्यय
says
का मतलब होता है
Aranyaya.
ना, अरण्य में जाके रहो।
It means
अरण्य
going and living in the forest. Aranya means
पहले
forest.
वानप्रस्थ होता था ना।
That's why earlier we had
वानप्रस्थ में
Vanaprastha
अरण्य
ashram.
शब्द का मतलब
But
क्या होता है?
actually,
रण शब्द तो जानते हैं?
Aranya means what?
रण का
Ran,
मतलब क्या होता है? युद्ध।
Rana
युद्ध मतलब कि
means
संघर्ष।
Yuddha or struggle.
अरण्य का मतलब ऐसी
So
स्थिति ना
Aranya
हो जहाँ
means
संघर्ष ना हो।
live in such a situation
घर छोड़कर व्यक्ति
where you do
अरण्य में
not have
जाता है।
struggle. Why people
इसका मतलब
left their home and went to the
वहाँ
forest?
रहने
Because
की
there was no
स्थिति नहीं
struggle
होती।
in the forest. Who is coming there
अभी
to
तो
struggle?
अरण्य रहने की स्थिति है नहीं,
So now it is not
संभव नहीं
possible
है,
to live in forests. You do not have such
संभव ही
forests,
नहीं है।
and we do not have
जहाँ तक
such
संभव हो अपने
facility.
घर में
What it
रहकर
means is that
दूसरों के
as far
संघर्ष
as
ना हो ऐसी
possible,
स्थिति
whichever ashram you are situated,
दूसरों के साथ में व्यर्थ का संघर्ष ना हो।
live in a way that you do
ये
not have
संघर्ष
unnecessary fights
किया
or
जाना
struggles
चाहिए।
with others. And this struggle is
तो
mostly in the mind.
मन को ही आप अरण्य बनाएं।
So make your mind as aranya
तो जब आपका मन ही
without any
अरण्य होगा
struggle.
तो तब
So
आप
when your
सुखी
mind will
रहेंगे।
be peaceful,
नहीं तो लोग अरण्य में जाके रहें और वहां भी
otherwise people go to the
संघर्षपूर्ण
forest and
स्थिति को सोचते रहें,
there also
जैसा कि
they
भारत
keep
वर्ष में मैं
bothering wondering about their
अनेक बार
struggles.
संघर्ष कर
People
चुका
come
हूँ।
to ashram and then they start
संघर्ष
fighting
तो
for
जीवन में
some other
अनेक
reasons.
आश्रमों में भी
So
ऐसा
ashram
संघर्ष
is
होता है।
not meant for this, but mostly you see
आश्रम में चले
so
जाइए,
much fighting goes on in the
अनेक आश्रमों
ashrams.
के ही मिलेंगे।
If you go to Mathura, you will find maximum court cases are related to the
इसलिए
ashrams only.
वो कहते हैं अरण्यायम।
So that's
और
why
दूसरा
in
सत्र
Shastra
है।
it is said Aranyayam.
सत्र का मतलब सत्र वैसे
Second is
लंबे
Satra. And Satra means
यज्ञ को कहते
the
हैं
lengthy
और एक है
yagyas.
साधु संघ।
Here it means
जैसे
sadhu
साधुओं के
sangha,
अनुसरण करना,
means having
साधु संघ से
association of sadhus. That is most important
साधु संघ से
because with sadhu sangha
ज्ञान मिलता है,
we get
मन में
knowledge,
भक्ति या
we
उत्साह
get
आता है दूसरों को देखकर।
empowerment,
आश्रम
we
इसलिए
get
बनाए गए हैं
enthusiasm
कि
seeing
एक
other devotees. This is why
लोग
ashrams
एक
are made
उद्देश्य को, एक साथ
that
रहें
people of same mind
और
who are
दूसरों को
same goal
प्रोत्साहित करें,
they come and live together enthusing each
संघर्ष
other,
करने को छोड़ें।
because at home we may feel laziness
मैं देर से
that
सोया था,
leave it anyway, I
आज थोड़ा
slept
जल्दी सो
late
लिया,
yesterday, so no need to wake up early today.
तो ये सब
But in
नियम है,
ashram there are rules, so everyone should wake up at the
पाठ में बैठना
designated time, attend the arati, attend the programs, classes.
है। इसलिए
So then you
साधु
have to
संघ
do that.
बहुत
So
हितकारी होता है जीवन में।
sadhu sangha is very
और
useful.
तीसरा उन्होंने कहा अनाश
Third,
कायन।
he says anashkayan.
तो अनाश कायन का मतलब
Anashkayan
अशन
means
बोलते हैं भोजन को,
ashan means food
बोलते हैं
and
उपवास को,
anashan means fasting.
उपवास करना।
So the next this one
तो
means
उपवास करना
fasting.
एक तो भोजन कम करना,
So one
भोजन
is
ना लेना,
fasting from food,
जैसे कि
having less
एकादशी
food
में
or
उपवास
no
करना,
food, like we do upwas on Ekadashi.
नियमावली बना लेना।
So having rules
इसका
time
दूसरा
to
एक अर्थ
time.
होता है अनाशक, भगवान का भी नाम है,
The other meaning is Bhagavan's name is also an Nashak,
अंदर स्थित रहे। आयन का
that
मतलब
we remain situated in
प्रभु में,
Bhagavan.
प्रभु में स्थित होना, यानी कि अपने
to be situated in Bhagavan, meaning to engage the mind in Bhagavan doing his japa, kirtan, katha.
नाश कायन। और दूसरा है इष्ट, चौथा।
The next one is Ishta.
इष्ट का मतलब होता है कुछ
The
परोपकार
fourth one means to do welfare to others.
सेवा करें,
So those who are in bhakti, they do seva.
करें आश्रम
Do seva in temple, in ashram, in your home, you do seva to Bhagavan.
और जो अंतिम है पांचवा वो है
And the last one is the charity,
दान करने
donation.
का जो बार बार शास्त्र में आता है
So this point of charity, which is highlighted repeatedly in Shastra, the objective is to reduce our attachment to the objects, the wealth. That's why Yajna was emphasized so much earlier, because in Yajna there was a lot of charity. Meaning the point is that we should not just remain selfish, that whatever we earn is meant for us only. Because we do not earn independently. For earning wealth, we need the cooperation of many other people. That's why whatever we earn, we use for ourselves, and whatever remains, we contribute to others also.
पांच उपाय उन्होंने
So these are the five methods by which we can
तो यहाँ
control,
भगवान
regulate the
कहते हैं
mind.
कि
So then Bhagavan says,
सभ्य आत्मना आत्मना हो गया, फिर कहते हैं जय शत्रु महाबाहो काम रूपम। तो इस काम को सबसे बड़ा शत्रु उन्होंने बताया है।
so Bhagavan has told that this karma is the uh, biggest enemy. It is formidable,
ये कोई साधारण शत्रु नहीं है।
meaning it is not an ordinary enemy.
सबसे बड़ी
And
समस्या है
the biggest problem is that this is enemy is inside our home only. One is that if the enemy is at a far distance, you throw missile or whatever. But if the enemy is inside your home, you can't throw missile in your home itself. Then where will you live? So this enemy is sitting inside our buddhi, senses, mind, in every
तो इसलिए
part of the body. It is everywhere in the body. It is situated. So we cannot kill our senses. So we have to just regulate.
और इसको समझ के
We have to control.
इसके साथ में
So understanding this, we should
इसलिए भगवान महाबाहु
fight.
कहते हैं।
That's why
महाबाहु तो
Bhagavan says Mahabahu,
जीव
mighty armed,
समर्थ है ये करने में, उसके अंदर योग्यता है।
meaning the Jiva has the capability
ऐसा नहीं है कि ये काम इतना
to
प्रबल है
achieve this self-control.
प्राप्त की जाए।
It is not an impossible task. Although the enemy is formidable, it is possible to conquer over this enemy.
होगी भगवान की कृपा से।
And this victory is only possible by Bhagavan's bhakti, Bhagavan's mercy.
क्या हुआ कि देखो शिव जी
Otherwise, what will happen? Like you see, Bhagavan Shiva, he had destroyed
मोहिनी के चक्कर में
Kama,
आ गए,
but then he got entangled with Mohini.
हमको भी वो रूप दिखा दो आप।
So he told Bhagavan that please show that form to me also. Bhagavan said, leave it, it is not for you. But then when Shiva saw that form, he ran after it.
भगवान की माया का दर्शन करने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है।
So there is no need to take darshan of Bhagavan's Maya. Our goal is to get darshan of Bhagavan, not his Maya.
किसी की नहीं चलती है, शिव जी की भी नहीं चलेगी।
Because
भस्म कर दिया था।
nobody, because in front of Maya, nobody
भगवान
will be successful.
हुए
Even Shiva ran after Mohini.
से कहा
So when Narsimhadev Bhagavan appeared in front of Prahlad Maharaj, he asked Prahlad to ask for a boon. And Prahlad said that, no, I don't need any boon. I am just your
उनका नहीं फिर भी कुछ ले लो।
dasa. I am your servant. So still Bhagavan told him, no, please ask something. So Prahlad asked.
हृदय संरोहम भवतुस्ते विणोहम विणयहम। उन्होंने कहा कि हे प्रभु, अगर आप मेरे को वर देना ही चाहते
So
हैं,
Prahlad ji asked that if you want that I asked some boon from you, so my desire is that please bless me that I should become desireless.
तो ये उन्होंने उनसे वर मांगा। उसका मतलब मैं आपकी
This was what he asked, meaning that my only desire should be for bhakti.
प्रहलाद का इंद्रियाणि
So
अपने प्राण आत्मा धर्मो धृति मति ह्री श्री तेजस स्मृति सत्यम यस्य नश्यन्ति जन्मना। कहता है
So Prahlad ji speaks this very important verse. He says that karma is
आ गया
so bad that if it enters,
बुद्धि धर्म धैर्य,
then it destroys all these qualities.
ऐश्वर्य, तेज, स्मृति, सत्यता सब विनष्ट हो जाती है।
All these qualities get destroyed
एक
because of
करके
karma.
विचार कर सकते हैं कि
So you
हमको
can reflect on each of these qualities and you will understand that because of karma, person starts lying, he loses his discrimination, he loses his bodily strength.
सब चीज का नाश कर देता है।
So he says that this karma destroys everything. The person becomes so much bewildered by this. He forgets himself totally.
को यही
So he requested Bhagavan Nrsimhadev to
कि मेरे मन
bless him
अहंकार की कमी
that
करना,
karma never
आपसे
enters
दूर ले
him.
जाए मेरे को,
That karma which takes him away from Bhagavan.
कामना मेरे
That karma
पैदा ही ना
should never
मेरी असंग
arise in his mind,
मेरे हृदय में
in his heart.
ऐसी इच्छा कभी भी
He should never get this desire.
ना ले। तो ऐसी ये प्रार्थना हमको भगवान से भी करनी
So
चाहिए।
we should also pray to Bhagavan like this, that in our
भौतिक वासना पैदा
mind material desire should never arise and we always remain engaged in your seva. So these verses that Bhagavan has recited from 37 to 43, these
बार बार
7 verses, again and again he has spoken about karma.
है, इसका पेट नहीं भरता है, महापापी है,
He said that it devours.
महापाप
First of all, he said Mahashano Mahapapma,
कहा ये
and here he says it is enemy.
ये वैरुणम, यहाँ फिर कहा
Then he says it is enemy.
दुरासदम है। तो इतना मतलब बल
So
देके
he's giving so much emphasis and explaining to us this point,
और इस पर हमें ध्यान देना
and we should pay attention to what he's speaking.
उसको तो विशेषता
And the sadhaka should especially do that. And those who are just living in the worldly society, their case is little different.
इसलिए ये अध्याय आज
So
यहीं पर
this chapter is completed today,
और इसके बाद फिर
and
भगवान
after this,
अपने बारे में बताएंगे।
in the 4th chapter, Bhagavan will speak about himself. So if you have any question regarding today's class, you can ask.
बाबा जी मेरा एक प्रश्न है।
So my question,
मन में जो विभिन्न प्रकार के भाव उत्पन्न होते हैं,
the different thoughts or feelings that arise in the mind,
की जो जागरूकता
the awareness of these feelings happens through buddhi, through buddhi.
किसी भी
Awareness of anything happens through buddhi only.
मन में जो कुछ भी होता है उसको आप बुद्धि से ही देख
Whatever is in the mind, it can be seen through buddhi only. That's why Bhagavan says that buddhi is superior to the mind.
दूसरा प्रश्न है कि आपने बताया कि
Next question, you said that where there is mind, there will be senses also. So question, when we are not doing anything with the senses, but we are just sitting and thinking about something, there which sense is working?
तो मन से ही
So
सोच
answer, there just mind is working. We are thinking through the mind only.
लेकिन अब आप यहाँ
But
बैठे
you
हैं,
are sitting here
कोई सामने
and there is some object in front of you and your mind is immersed in watching it, they will not be able to focus on the sound
यूट्यूब से एक प्रश्न
in the
है,
class.
भगवान
Next
में मन
question,
लगाना और भगवान में बुद्धि लगाना क्या
fixing
ये
the
भिन्न है?
mind and fixing the intelligence on Bhagavan, are they different?
तो दोनों भिन्न होंगे।
So answer, if mind and intelligence are different, obviously
अगर आप
focusing mind and focusing intelligence is going to be different. If you understand that both are different, then focusing them on Bhagavan is also different.
मन जो है ये एक
Mind is
इंद्रिय है।
a sense.
हमारी जो इंद्रिय
The senses that
Recording
we
in
have,
progress.
इंद्रिय शब्द तो समझते हैं ना।
you understand the word indriyas.
तो इंद्रिय किसको
So
बोलते हैं? इंद्रिय
what is indriyas? What are senses? Senses are those that have knowledge of the sense objects. Like
क्योंकि इससे हमको रूप का
what
ज्ञान
is,
होता
why
है।
is the eye
नाक को
called the
इंद्रिय क्यों
sense?
बोलते हैं?
Why
इससे
is
हमको गंध का
nose
ज्ञान
called
होता है।
sense organ?
तो
Because
हमारी इंद्रियां
we
दो प्रकार
get the
की
sense
हैं।
of smell. So
एक
we
बाह्य
have two
इंद्रियां
types
हैं
of
और एक
senses.
अंतर इंद्रिय है।
One is external sense and other
बाह्य
is
इंद्रियां वो
internal.
हैं जिनसे हमको बाह्य विषय का ज्ञान
External
होता
is that by which we get the
है या बाह्य विषय
external knowledge.
का हम प्रयोग करते हैं।
So
क्योंकि
we
बाह्य
deal
इंद्रिय
with the
फिर दो
external
प्रकार की
sense
हैं,
objects,
ज्ञान इंद्रिय और
and
कर्म
those are
इंद्रिय।
also of two types.
और फिर
Gyanendriya and
अंतर इंद्रिय
Karmendriya.
हैं,
And then, so
जिनसे
then
हमें
there are the internal senses
विषयों का ज्ञान होता
by which we get the
है।
knowledge of the
में भी वो इंद्रिय सहायता करती है,
internal
वो मन
subjects.
है। जैसे आपको आपने कोई चीज खाई,
So suppose you eat
की अनुभूति हुई,
and then
की
you
अनुभूति
get the feeling of happiness.
मन से हो।
So where do you get the feeling of happiness? It is in the mind. If your mind goes somewhere else, then
आप मानो कोई एक्सीडेंट हो जाए,
eating that will not give you that feeling of happiness. Suppose some close person is in trouble or met an accident or was caught by police. Even if you are hungry, while eating you will not be happy, because without the mind you don't like something,
अंतर इंद्रिय है।
you don't feel happy. So this is an internal sense.
और भी काम है, इसका सबसे बड़ा
It has other functions also. It is, main point is, it is a dreaming machine.
स्वप्न देखता रहता है, जागृत में भी और सोते में भी।
बाबा जी
While
ये जो
awake
हमारा जीवन है
or while sleeping, it keeps dreaming.
भाई बुद्धि का संघर्ष ही हो गया एक तरह से।
हाँ जी, नहीं संघर्ष नहीं है।
जी
So is this whole life a struggle of mind and buddhi? Answer, no. Struggle is only when you don't do sadhana.
मन का नौकर
When you do sadhana, then there is no struggle.
आएगा,
One who will do sadhana,
मन के साथ में संघर्ष करेगी, क्योंकि
one who will do sadhana, then he will struggle
साधना करोगे
with mind intelligence. So when you do sadhana,
बुद्धि बताएगी तो संघर्ष करेगा, लेकिन
then there is struggle. But if you don't want to do sadhana, then your buddhi
आप एंजॉय कर सकते हैं।
will give you the logic how to just keep enjoying.
लोग तो मन के गुलाम है उसके ना।
हाँ जी,
So we are slaves of
अगर हम
mind
उसके
only.
गुलाम हैं तो ये तो हमारा पतन है।
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल।
तो
तो गीता में भगवान कहते हैं कि जिसका
So in Gita, this is what Bhagavan says: one who is slave of his mind.
साथ में रहता है,
So it's like he is living with his enemies.
कई
छठे अध्याय में बोलते हैं
So he says like this in the 6th chapter.
कि जो भाई जो संसारिक लोग हैं
हाँ जी,
और जो
So sometimes it
साधक लोग हैं,
appears
कई बार
that those who are the worldly people, and it appears that they are very peaceful, and sadhakas appear disturbed. So answer, sadhak appears disturbed because sadhak is trying to come out of the problem. If you are not trying to come out of the problem, you do not struggle. It appears that you are peaceful. Suppose there is a gang of thieves.
मिलके काम करते हैं,
They are working together,
उनमें एक सरदार भी है उनका,
and they have a boss also.
सरदार के अनुसार सब काम कर रहे हैं।
So when they are all working under the boss, and if one person wants to leave the gang, so the other person will trouble him or no?
समझ लिए, ये जो साधक लोग जो है ना, वो गैंग छोड़ रहे हैं।
So the sadhakas are leaving the gang.
ये तो पूरे संसार का बहुत 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 ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय है।
नहीं तो भगवान बोल
So the topic that you discussed today, you explained it so much meticulously. It is so important for every person in this world. You explained 5 methods to control.
अरण्य में हो जाओ, मतलब जंगल में चले जाओ, जैसे हम नोएडा से वृंदावन आ गए, ये भी अरण्य हो गया स्वयं।
अरण्य है।
So if I am coming from Noida to Vrindavan, this is also like coming to Aranya only. So our Shastras emphasize on this only. So this is a very important topic that you discussed today.
प्रश्न है बाबा जी कि परमानंद
Question:
समय और साधना के विषय से संबंधित यदि एक व्यक्ति किसी साधु से शिक्षा
if a person is taking shiksha from a sadhu,
दिनचर्या को पालन करने में बाधा आती है,
but he is having difficulty in following strict routine, so what steps should he take to progress?
क्या कहा, उसके पालन करने में
कठोर दिनचर्या को पालन करने में बाधा आती है।
क्या बात है?
So what obstacle do you face in following strict routine?
तो उसको आप अपनी आवश्यकता के अनुसार उसको बदल दीजिए।
So according to your situation, you adjust the routine.
मेरा एक प्रश्न है,
शारीरिक जो आवश्यकता है,
Whatever body needs you have, you cannot negate them.
किसी व्यक्ति को ज्यादा की आवश्यकता है
if somebody needs more food, if somebody needs less food.
की आवश्यकता है वो कम
Then if somebody needs more and he sees a person who is eating less, and if he starts imitating, then he will die.
समस्या है।
So you should not make this mistake. This is a problem
तो नियम बनाए जाते
that
हैं लेकिन
sadhakas have in the spiritual path. Rules are there,
अलग अलग
whether of eating, sleeping, but different people have different needs.
पूरा करना
So
महत्वपूर्ण है। भगवान
it is very important to fulfill the basic needs of the body, the essential needs of the body. Bhagavan himself says,
करना चाहिए कांता मनस्मृत, जो ज्यादा खाता है और जो कम
one who eats more, one who eats less, both cannot do
ज्यादा
yoga.
मतलब अपनी
So eating more means eating more than what you need,
कांता मनस्मृत है जो
and eating less means less than what you need.
तो भगवान स्वयं कह रहे हैं।
So Bhagavan himself is telling that.
कहते हैं और नियम है तो फिर उसको तरह से आपको सामंजस्य बैठाना पड़ेगा, नहीं
So you have to achieve the proper balance as per your need. Otherwise, your health will be spoiled. And in the previous class, I had told
तो स्वस्थ अगर स्वास्थ्य खराब हो जाएगा तो मन
that if your health is good, then you will have good, you have a healthy mind. Otherwise, your mind is unhealthy and intelligence is unhealthy.
कुछ आचार्य
Next question.
काम भी करते हैं, तो इस पर थोड़ी प्रकाश
So, as you explained that some acharyas explained that saha is kama also. So the context is about kama only. So Arjun had asked about that kama only,
किस कारण से व्यक्ति पाप
that what is the reason a person engages in papa without desiring also. So first Bhagavan said that it is due to kama.
काम की बात कर रहे हैं कि इसने ढका हुआ है, अवृतम ज्ञानम एतेन, इंद्रिय मन बुद्धि में बैठा हुआ है, इसको मारिए। अब वो
So
बताते हैं
kama is there, you should kill it.
इंद्रियां नहीं पाएंगे। तो इसलिए इसका सा का अर्थ काम भी हो सकता है।
So here saha can mean kama also, because the context is about kama only.
और किस प्रकार से यह काम जो है वो बुद्धि से भी परे आ गया,
क्योंकि बुद्धि को आवृत कर देता है।
So kama is beyond
आवृतम
the buddhi by this logic that it covers the buddhi, the vivek.
कहा था ना कि ज्ञान का अर्थ यहाँ विवेक है, और विवेक बुद्धि का कार्य है।
And vivek discrimination is the function of buddhi.
प्रबल हो गया नहीं हो गया, फिर आप अपनी बुद्धि लगाएंगे किस तरह से मैं इस काम भोग को प्राप्त करूं, तो उससे प्रबल हो गया ना।
So people start using their buddhi how to fulfill their kama.
की मूल परिभाषा क्या है?
Next question, what is the definition of tapasya and why studying shastra is called tapasya? So answer, studying shastra is not called tapasya, it is called swadhyay.
धातु
Tapasya is from tap dhatu.
परिभाषा है कि स्वेच्छा पूर्वक आप अपने मन
It means that voluntarily you do something to control, to regulate your senses, your mind.
ऐसी क्रियाएं जो आपके विषय को नियंत्रित करती हैं,
Do those activities which help in regulating
इंद्रिय के लिए मन के, तो उसको
your mind, your senses. They want the sense object, but you do not feed that.
से उपवास करना
You regulate, like fasting
या और किसी साधन में लगना,
or doing some other sadhana.
तो उसको तप बोलते हैं।
That is called tapa.
ने बताया कि भाई भगवान ने कहा है कि इंद्रियों
Question, you said that Bhagavan
तो इसका मतलब तो ये हुआ
says that mind is superior to the senses. So
प्रार्थना करें।
इसलिए तो कहते हैं ना मन
So if we have to control the mind, then we should pray to Bhagavan.
ये एक
So Bhagavan is telling that you engage your mind in me. This is the only way.
मनमोहन बोलते हैं।
That's why he is called Manmohan.
यहाँ मतलब कभी कुछ
Question.
क्लैरिफिकेशन के लिए, एक कंफर्मेशन या क्लैरिफिकेशन के लिए ये प्रश्न है। फॉर एग्जांपल हम पढ़ने के लिए कॉलेज जाते हैं,
So like we go to college for education. For education, it is very important to follow the rules and regulations of the classroom.
हो जाती है, कभी कभी उनको गार्डन में भी जाना
But sometimes for education, we may have to go to the garden or playground also for doing experiment.
कभी कभी हम अटैच हो जाते हैं क्लासरूम में ही सीखने का। उसी तरीके से भक्ति मार्ग में
So sometimes we become attached only to the classroom. So similarly, bhakti, sharanagati to Guru is the sense. Our samskaras should be around the sharanagati only. But sometimes what happens is that we become attached to the samskaras only. Like like in our family, non-veg is not allowed. So automatically we have good habit giving up onion, garlic, or carrot. It becomes easy for us because from childhood we have the training. So then sometimes we become proud also that we have good samskaras.
इल्यूजन के थ्रू भक्ति शरणागति से ही आती है तो ये कैसे समझ रहे बिकॉज बहुत सारे लोगों के अंदर अच्छा
Bhakti
संस्कार
comes to
रहता है
sharanagati only. Some people naturally have good samskaras due to other reasons,
समझते हैं इसी चीजों को
but that is not bhakti. But we just start thinking that is bhakti only. How do we see both differently? So as you yourself are saying, you have to check what you are doing. Are you doing for pleasure of Bhagavan out of Sharanagati or just by your samskara? That is something you have to check. What is your state of mind? So some samskaras are such that they are good. Like people have sattvic samskaras, but some people have tamasic or rajasic samskaras. But simply having good samskaras is not bhakti. Sharanagati is essential. It is like there is airport. So some people their residence is near airport and some people are far from airport. So those who are far from airport they have to work little harder. But those who are near the airport don't have to work much hard. But both have to sit in the flight. Those who are near the airport, if they think that oh I'm just near the airport, but they have never sat in the aeroplane whole life, so they will just remain near only, they won't be able to enter.
धन्यवाद बाबू जी
ऋषित जी का प्रश्न
Next
है
question.
बताया कि
You
इंद्रियां
said that
बुद्धि सब
senses, mind, intelligence all are material and Bhagavan is
अभ्यास से
spiritual.
हमारे मन
So
इत्यादि अपनी मूल
is
प्रवृत्ति
it
से
possible simply by
क्या हम
practice
अंतरंगा शक्ति को अपना लेते हैं
that we can get Antaranga Shakti? Nothing happens on its own. It is possible by Bhagavan's mercy only. His mercy is spiritual only, it is not material. So that mercy enters the mind, intelligence, so the Kripa Shakti enters that. And when it enters, then mind, intelligence becomes naturally attracted to spiritual activities. Just like we are naturally attracted to material subjects, material objects. So when the Kripa Shakti enters, then the mind senses they naturally become attracted to spiritual activities. That is actually Kripa. People think Kripa means I went to temple, I prayed for a good job. That is not actually Kripa. Kripa means your mind, your intelligence become attracted towards Bhagavan.
प्रश्न है उन्हीं का एक दूसरा
Next question.
कि आपने बताया
You
कि
said
हमें
that
अपने आप से
we
बहुत डर लगता है
are
इसलिए
very
हम
much afraid of ourselves. That's why we keep ourselves
भगवान को
entangled
स्पिरिचुअल
in
नहीं समझा
something or the
सकते
other. Can you explain this? So, answer is simple. You sit inside a room, keep yourself inside a room for 8 to 10 hours and keep computer, telephone, etc. outside. You should not have any seat around you to contact anybody, watch something, go to YouTube or write email, etc. And check how long can you sit alone and what do you feel. Then you will understand how you cannot live alone. And mind can become disturbed, you may feel scared or you may feel depressed. Like nowadays many people get into depression and they consume antidepressants due to feeling loneliness, so they just cannot live alone. Actually, in the Western countries,
भारत के बाहर प्राय
even
के देशों में लोग
actually outside India, in most of the countries, people have such facilities
परिवार भी होता तो बहुत
that
छोटा होता,
they stay alone, or even if they have a family, it's nuclear family.
भक्ति के लिए बहुत बढ़िया से उपयोग कर सकते हैं।
They can use that time very nicely for spiritual progress,
अपने को व्यस्त रखते हैं,
but they're not used to that, so they keep themselves busy.
होगी जाएंगे बीच पे जा रहे हैं,
So if they work for 5 days and then in weekend they go to beach, running continuously.
बात करेंगे कहाँ गए थे आप, मैं वहाँ गया था,
Then after coming back, then they discuss, they talk to others where I went, what I did.
वो मन को उलझा के
So this goes on. They are not peaceful.
वहाँ भी
All the
किसी को
time
ऐसा नहीं
their mind is disturbed. Even if they go to vacation, they are not peaceful. They are also keep doing something or the other. So this has become our habit to always remain
आपने
entangled.
भोजन के नियम के बारे में बताया,
Next question.
जैसे
You
दवाई
spoke
लेना
about
चाहिए,
the rules
क्या
for food,
चातुर्मासी का पालन
like we should not
भक्ति
eat
से
carrot.
संबंधित और भक्ति का अंग है?
Is
चातुर्मास्य का
Chaturmasya
पालन
related
करने
to
से
Bhakti, or is it an anga of Bhakti? What is the purpose of doing Chaturmasya? Answer. Chaturmasya is an anga of Varnashram. It is not an anga of Bhakti. So different dharmas have different angas. Varnashram is there, which is we call Karma Yoga. Chaturmasya is not a limb of Bhakti.
दिव्य ताई जी कृपया अपना प्रश्न पूछें।
प्रणाम बाबा जी। हरे कृष्ण। सुनाई दे?
हाँ बोलिए।
हाँ बाबा जी, जैसे ये यहाँ पर जो स्थिति है अर्जुन की,
So question, the state of Arjun, that the struggle that he was having regarding his relatives, and the point comes to the mind. Like we see as sadhakas, we struggle with mind as well as with people outside. So ultimately, by hearing Gita, the external struggle that Arjun was having, how to deal with that.
उस कार्य को किया था। तो हम लोग भी जब अपने ये संघर्ष से गुजरते हैं तो
So
हमें
when we struggle in our life,
के संघर्ष को शांत कर लें, उसके पश्चात बाहर के संघर्ष को लड़ना चाहिए।
what should we do? Should we first
अपने जीवन में से देख
gain victory over mind and senses and then struggle with outsiders? So answer, yes, if it is possible for you, yes. There is no such rule that every person will have situation.
ऐसी रहती है कि उसमें आपको लड़ना ही पड़ेगा, उसको आप छोड़ नहीं सकते।
Sometimes your situation outside is such that you have to fight, you have to struggle. Somebody is
10-12 साल
capturing your property. You cannot say that no, for 10 years first I will do yoga, I will become successful, then I will fight to get this to reclaim my property. Then you lose your property by that time. So all this depends what type of external struggle you have.
पोस्टपोन कर सकते हैं तो
Is it such that you can postpone it? Then do it, so that you focus your energy on internal self control only. Otherwise you have to do both.
अर्जुन ने भी यही किया, वो तो
Arjun also did this. The question answer was for a very short period, and then he was struggling with the outside people only.
कहीं चला गया था।
He had not gone away from the battlefield.
तो आप सुबह शाम यहाँ से और दिन में कार्य कीजिए,
और अंततः बाहरी जो हम कार्य करने के लिए जैसे कर रहे हैं तो अल्टीमेटली वो हमको इधर भी हेल्प
So
करेगा।
whatever we are doing, working outside, what we are how we are struggling there, it will help here also. So answer, actually the real struggle is in inner struggle only.
संघर्ष जैसे लगेंगे ही नहीं।
When your internal struggle will stop, then the external struggles will not appear as struggle to you. Actually the real struggle is at the level of mind only. When the mental struggle will stop, all other struggles will stop.
तो बाबा जी इसका मतलब हमारे लिए फिर जब मन का संघर्ष समाप्त हो गया तो फिर जो कोई जैसे न कोई हमारे लिए फिर शत्रु बचता
So
है,
when
न
the
कोई
mental struggle stops, then there is no friend or enemy for us. So then we have nothing to do in this world. Just do bhakti.
पूरे संसार से
जब आप
कारक हो
भक्त
गए।
बन गए तो आपके लिए कोई कार्य रहता ही नहीं है।
So answer,
तावत
when you become a devotee,
यावता
you have no other work.
श्रद्धा यावन न जायते। भगवान तो स्वयं कह रहे हैं कि तब तक
Bhagavan is himself telling that
भक्ति में श्रद्धा
work till you do not get Shraddha in Bhakti. When you have Shraddha in Bhakti, then what other work will you do? Whatever you will do will be Bhakti only. What else can you do? If you are doing something else other than Bhakti, it means you do not have Shraddha in Bhakti. This is what Shraddha means, that Shraddha engages you in the activity. That's what Shraddha means. If your Shraddha is in material subjects, you will work for in that. If your Shraddha is in spiritual life, then you will work accordingly. That is what Shraddha means. So whatever you are doing, it will be related to Bhakti only.
है। संदीप जी
Next
पूछ रहे हैं
question.
कि
If
श्लोक में जैसे बताया
Saha is
कि
Atma
सह का
in
अर्थ आत्मा है, तो
3.42,
आत्मा कैसे
then
जान
how
सकते
can
हैं?
Atma
क्या
know?
केवल इसके
Because
पास
it has only
ज्ञातृत्व है जिसे ज्ञान की
Gyatritva,
आवश्यकता है?
for which it requires mind.
तो ये समझा चुके हैं हम कि इस समय आत्मा आपकी जो है वो तादात्म्य
So I have explained so many times that now your Atma has tadatmya with the material ahankara. It is not that Atma is seated separately. For explaining, it is told to you what is the gradation. But what is your situation, that your Atma,
उपाधि के सहित है, उपहित है,
it is conditioned, it is in the conditioned state,
इस तरह से वो कार्य कर रहे हैं।
and actually it is working.
तो इसे बार बार हमने इस पर चर्चा की।
So we have discussed this many times.
चलो प्रार्थना श्लोक। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव। एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः। यच्छ्रेयः स्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्। यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांघ्रये। भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो। नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपापप्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम्। हरि ओम तत्सत्।